let's finish up with this mask. It's a adjustment curve mask. So if you see this PSD file here, take off that second layer. You can see how they've lightened these faces here. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to turn this layer off for just a minute. I'm going to go over to my brush tool. We're going to click that quick selection tool, and it will be black in front. If you don't have black in front, it's not going to work. So toggle that so the black is in front when you have this selected. You know it's selected because that layer is selected there. Then I'm going to, I'd like to use a soft edged brush just to highlight these girls' faces right here and right here. Then I'm going to click once again on the quick mask, and it highlights their faces. Now I'm going to click on curves, and it will make a layer just like there was before. And now that the curves has opened in my properties, I'm going to use the top part here. The bottom part is usually for shadows. See how it gets dark there? And I'm just going to play around. Do I want to move it up in this area or in this area to lighten up their faces? Oh, that works really good. So you can see it is very similar to the original, and that is how I've lightened up their faces. Let's do the next tutorial. So in this tutorial, we're going to use curves, and we're in a RGB color space. Let's check it out. So image mode. Let's change it from lab color to RGB. And then what I want to do first, let's apply some curves in a layer. I'm going to give it a standard S curve, but it is very wintry, and this looks like it would probably go in a news article. Maybe I want to green up the grass a little bit. So it's very gloomy. You can see it just gets lighter and lighter when I go that way. This way just makes the grass look even darker. Let's see if we can get the grass in front here to be around the same color as that grass in back. So I'm simply on the image selecting that layer. I'm going to use my marquee tool just to select the front part of this image, but not the runway. And now in my curves, I'm just going to use that green, and you see, take it to the right, it actually takes the green out. If you take it a little bit to the left, it actually adds a little bit green. We don't want neon green. We just want to green it up just a little bit in this image. And now if we were to select, let me go back to where I've got it selected at. I want to select everything above that green area, and in my curves I can just apply a little more curve maybe than I could before to darken that up and really brighten it up, where before it kind of whacked the color out on that green. You can try that as well. And I can also do it in the blue color space. There's a lot of blue going on there, and if I take it to one way or the other, you can see it definitely makes a change in that channel. Let's see what else we have to do here. So we've made it all the way through all the curves tutorials now. I believe we went through everything. Yep, we did. Now we're going to move on to gradient map and histogram. I'm just going to go ahead and do the histogram really quickly and then add that. The other ones, we'll go back to the gradient map, the hue and saturation, the levels, and the red eye. So a gradient map, a histogram is sort of, I've included a few images here to show you what the color space looks out. So if it's washed out, That histogram usually looks like this if it's over. You know, it's got a lot of powerful contrast. It's up higher in here. Depends where your shadows are and your highlights are, how that histogram works. There is a histogram, what it looks like in colors and RGB, and if the image has balanced, looks similar to this. If it's underexposed, it'll look over here. So I'll let you take a look at this, and then, you know, if you get a lot of spaces in it, it's lost some detail. So let's find our histogram. You can actually pull it up. It's under Window, Histogram. Did it come up? We gotta have something open for it to come up. I'm gonna open this photo of Zada, which obviously the color space is from those 70s photos. It's really not aged well. It's got a lot of red color, and you can see on the histogram how something like this would look. Now, I'm gonna just go ahead in my adjustment layers and take a look at Zada, especially in my levels, and see what sort of color space we can get here for her. So I'm going to actually autocorrect it first, and we'll see how it changes the histogram. So image auto tone, image auto contrast. Oh, it didn't make a very good difference. Oh, I've got that layer on. Let me turn it off real quick. I want to do it to the, make sure you're on the right layer, image, auto tone, and then auto contrast. And you can see how it's changed this histogram here. If I hit Command Z to go back, I want that auto tone, and that is, it does, there is some information missing, you can see, but the coloration looks much more close to normal on this one.